The plot thickens. Everything gets more complicated. This is the most incredible thing I've ever seen in my life. This is the greatest time to be alive right now. Do you know what's happening? This is so terrific. I don't even know where to start. Don't even know where to start. Don't even know where to begin. Don't even know at what point to commence this thing that we are doing. Okay? That simple. That incredibly simple. I got to tell you something. And I have to just stop and just remind you of something. This is not your father's Oldsmobile, and this is not your regular, usual news. I saw today somebody said, hey, Will Kane, or somebody is going to be replacing Cavuto. Hey. And that's a very good thing. Congratulations. And the first thing I thought of is, don't ever think you're going to stray beyond the prescribed areas of discussion. Do not think, for example, LA fires, ignition source, cause, globalist impact. Don't ever think, dear friend, don't ever put yourself in the position where you believe or are led to believe or even think, suspect, imagine that you're able to go just beyond that which is stated. Have you noticed how everybody's pushing still this story about arson? Are you kidding me? Arson? You think that what this is going on now is about arson? Now they're finding somebody. It's already started. You're throwing a match onto something that's a full and total conflagration. How stupid do they think we are? Seriously, I know this is not something maybe you want to discuss, but how stupid do they think we are? Do they think we don't know anything about physics? I've been through this. Physics, gravity, that we can't read, that we don't understand that doctors are the only people who can explain certain things. I mean, they really, honest to God. But here's the deal. There's a new sheriff in town, and it's over. It is over. So let me tell you something right off the bat, my friends. First and foremost, number one, I want to remind you of something. I want to tell you. There is, hot off the presses, a brand new, super duper, this is the most critical thing possible, the most critical of them all. A new deal that is brought to you from our good friends at preparewithlionel.com. The 4-week emergency food supply, $100 off. This is okay. Okay. You want to try to introduce yourself to this? Okay. You want to try a commitment? All right, I'll give this a shot. I don't know why this is so difficult. Some people say, well, I don't know. It's like, excuse me, you're not buying a car. You're buying emergency food. People are so odd. They're so odd over this notion. In any event, make sure you do. You go to preparewithlionel.com. That's all I want to say. Now is the best time to do it. That simple, period. Now, let's talk about a couple of things here, shall we? First and foremost, number one, we have right now 6 days until the, which is important, 6 days until the inauguration, 5 days. You know, we should do something. We should do something on, I don't know what, on Inauguration Day. I don't know. We'll do some stuff. I don't want to do a play-by-play, but maybe we'll do a couple of different things, and we'll spend as much time as possible to share this, because we really need to share this. Everybody game for that? We'll figure something out. We will get together, because this is something. I mean, seeing is believing. Is there a part of you that says, until I actually hear them say, so help me God, I'm not buying this. I'm not holding out any hope I'm not thinking, okay, it's 100% guaranteed, because these people are so demented. True. These people are so incredibly demented that they are not able to, for lack of a better word, they're not able to ever come clean. So I don't believe anything. I really, honestly, truly, seriously do not believe anything. So until that day happens, I'm not going to believe. But let's jump into this, right? And let's start off real easy, real easy. Shall we? With something which is so interesting, and this is called WTF is this. I just want to start off, in no particular reason, just to kind of, introduce us into today's show. What the is this? I saw this. I don't know what this is. Is this a Korean thing? I don't know. What is this? They're not real looking. Okay. Listen, I know. It's not my thing. It's not my thing. Look, we all had glam rock stuff and yeah, and all that kind of jazz. I mean, look, these are different times. I dig, I understand. But there's something about this level of not only androgyny, but this weird, strange, I don't even know what you want to call it. There's also these folks. Have you seen these? These folks who come along and they say stuff like, oh God, what is it? They'll say, this OnlyFans person, how do I say this? This OnlyFans person, what am I trying to say? She was with 1,000 men. Have you seen this lately? Have you seen this? 1,000 men in like one night or something. And I don't believe any of this. First of all, number one, I don't want to go into the morality of this. I don't want to suggest any of that, because that's too obvious. But you got to ask yourself, where in the name of God does this ever even come from? Where in the name of God did we ever get this OnlyFans? Now, I can go and explain to you how this is the absolute degradation of humanity, and yeah, and you know all that. I appreciate this. But this is something which is the most fascinating of them all. What is the matter with us? Social media is, or are, I should say are, the stage or the landing strip or the launch pad or whatever you want to call it for some of the most demented and thoroughly insane lunacy that I have ever seen. That's all. It is absolutely positively that. And I think, I want you to understand something, morality to an extent is there for a reason. Morality, you see, ladies and gentlemen, and I don't even want to show this picture of this woman. You can see her, whatever. And this OnlyFans stuff. It's like, look, OnlyFans is doing for the notion of not morality, but modesty and treating yourself like chattel. It's doing the same for that cannabis shops, how they're affecting mind expansion. Let me just say this again, and let me repeat this. Let me put this into perspective. Sexuality is a beautiful thing, right? Okay. Entertainment sometimes involves playing with, utilizing, mimicking, replicating actual acts which are normally considered that. When a woman goes on and says, I'm going to sell myself and you can look at me do whatever it is that I'm doing and to be paid, I'm not going to prohibit it. I don't provide it. They're not adults, or they are adults, rather. But do you not see what happens to your soul? You can dance, you can be an actor, you can actress, you can sing a song, you can do a lot of things, sometimes things that are rather degrading. But when you take your actual intimacy, a word which we've lost completely, intimacy, it's a different story. Intimacy. Modesty. These are words that don't make any sense anymore. These are words that nobody even understands. These are words that have nothing to do, that nobody cares anything about. These are words which make no sense to people. And if you ask somebody, what does this modesty mean? They have no idea. He said, what does that mean? I said, bringing up a cotillion. Okay? I'm just saying this, and I'm not lecturing. I'm telling you the truth. Self-respect is there for a reason. Self-respect, modesty, not looking like a trollop, skeevy. There is something. That's all I'm going to say. I sound like I'm lecturing. I don't want to do it. I think you know that. I'm saying sometimes there are things that, well, it might be better. The lack of modesty, the lack of self-respect, absolutely, positively is linked to all of the self-abuse and the like. Okay, fine. Yesterday, I had a wonderful time. I hope you saw an interview I did with a friend of mine I've known for we're zeroing in on 40 years, about 30, 36 years, 37 years. And we talked about this notion of the T group. He is a gay man. He's been my pal forever, and he has always been one of the most rational and lucid people, where his sexuality has nothing to do with anything. Doesn't really come up. It's important to an extent. And I asked him yesterday, I said, what is with this trans business? Where did this come from? What is the purpose behind this? Please tell me. And he explained that after a period of time, when all these monies ran out, when the whole, gay and lesbian thing came about, it kind of lost its momentum. Well, this is a different story. And things are different right now. And I'm going to talk to you about this one person. There is a congressman by the name of Tim McBride. This is a gender imposter by the name of Tim McBride. He's a militant cosplay proponent. And this is the one who was met the wrath, came head on to the wrath of Congressperson Mace. And he was explaining to innocent children that doctors can help them become transgender, and it's good. And how this is happening, I want you to listen to this, because remember, while you may think we're doing great, or while you may think, hey, things are terrific, no, things have not changed. This might be one of the best, yet the most infuriating issues to remind us that some things have not changed. Do you hear what I'm saying? Some things have not changed. If this doesn't make you angry, I'll try to do my best with the sound. I don't know how the sound is. This is as good as it gets. Watch this and let me know what you think.
She went with her family to the doctor, and the doctor said that she's a girl, and everyone should see her and treat her like a girl, right? Which is to say that they should call her Jazz, and they should treat her with respect and be nice to her. But can I ask you one more question? So that journey that she had from people thinking she was a boy, and the fact that Jazz knew she was a girl, to her parents and her friends accepting her as the girl that she is, that journey is called being transgender. And like Jazz said, that makes her a little different from some of the other kids. And Jazz at the end talks about how being different is good, right?
What do you think about that, my friends? Tell me, what do you think about that? You want to weigh in on that one? What do you think? What questions come to mind when you see this? What immediate questions or objections or thoughts come to mind when you see anything? Yeah, I told you the sound, that's a little weak. I wish I could do more. What'd you think? What'd you think? What'd you think? Okay, let me explain something. Again, the audio, as I said, I took this from that which was out. I can't explain that. For some of you, you heard it. You heard it. Others want to say, I want to talk about the sound. I'd rather talk about how bad the sound was. Okay, fine. I said, no. I don't really know about this, but I just want to say, could you work on the sound? The sound is what I want to talk about. Okay, fine. Oh, I don't know about children being lectured about, gender transition and the like. I don't really know. But the sound, could I talk about the sound? See, that's what I like to do. I don't know, call me wacky. I kind of like to complain. That's my thing. Now, assuming that you heard this, how is it that this is even possible? And I know, try your best. I know it was a bad sound. I know it's a bad sound. I know it. I know. Can you acknowledge? Yes, the sound was bad. Yes. Here is the "I have a dream" speech. Could we get better sound? Is this black and white? Yeah. Okay. Here's the Zapruder film. That wasn't very clear. Do we have a digital version? No, we don't. That's it. Oh, okay. Because I would prefer, and that sign gets in the way. Yes, that is exactly right. I just want to say, that's why I love you folks. I love this. The sound, shouldn't we be talking about what she was wearing? Okay, maybe. No, I think we should talk about the sound. The sound is important because that's where we are. Here is the question which I try to tell people repeatedly. I would not, when you, and this is axiomatic, but I'm going to say things to people. First, there is a part of me, and I'm sorry, we all have our own idiosyncrasies, but there is a part of me that when I hear that voice, whatever you call that voice, whatever it's called, something in me dies. I don't know why. It's something in me dies. It's that voice that always accompanies something shocking. It's affected. It is staged. It is deliberate. It is this, for some reason, it's part of the accoutrement, so to speak, the uniform. And it's one of those things that's always it drives me nuts. And I don't know why it drives me nuts. I really don't. I don't know. I should be a better person for this, but I can't help it. Because I've seen every one of these loons speak like this. Raul says she was talking in noisy jazz. I don't know what it was, but it was. And I play it again, but the sound is bad. The sound. All right. Now, give me a little time on this. President Trump, this has to stop immediately. We can never see this again, ever. Little kids don't understand this. Little kids don't understand this. They don't. Let me give you an example. I think I told you this before, and I'm going to tell you again. And by the way, every friend, please watch my debate later, my discussion with Carrie Harrison is up. Everybody I've known, and do know, who's gay, says, what's with the kids? Being gay has nothing to do with indoctrinating children. Nothing. Not that they say. This is a different story. That's number one. Number two, this is cosplay, costume play. This is gender impersonation. This is something that, how do I say this? It is disingenuous. And I swear to God, and I mean this with all my heart. Here is the test. If you left these people on a situation where they were on a desert island and nobody saw them, listen to me carefully, and they were on a desert island, they were there able to, be whatever they want, would they still act like a woman? Is this a gay chat room? Yes, indeed. Thank you for joining us. If you left this gentleman on an island, would he act like that? I would submit in many cases, no. It is an act. It is a work. It is an angle. It is theater. It is vaudeville. It's not real. It's not real. That if you turned your back and all of a sudden, put it this way. If you were blind, let me ask you a question. If you were blind, do blind people act like men and women? Yeah, they do. Isn't that weird? They can't see anything. This fellow, I promise you, if he were blind, would not understand this because there is no act. There is no audience for this. Edie Crowley says, people seem to think this is an occult or Satanist thing. Pretty obvious it's calculated strategy to confuse children. Nothing supernatural. Well, there's always, listen, let me put it this way. The satanic reference in this is the same as having the arsonist with the LA fires. It's like, yeah, I'm sure there's arson involved, but that's a minimal part of what's going on here. Okay? So it's a minimal part. It's a minimal part. It's a minimal part of this. But here's the thing. Let me give you a story. This is why kids are important. Kids don't understand things. You've seen this. You've seen this. Put it this way. Let me stop for 1 second. I'm going to say something that you're going to probably maybe find discomforting, but I'm going to say it nonetheless. This is not about people going after our children. This is about people going after us. And they want to go after the things that we love. They don't want to do anything. They're not going to recruit any kids. You're not going to recruit anybody. I mean, maybe a few. They don't want children. They want to go after you. They want to drive you crazy. They want to put pot shops on every corner. They want to hit you with pronouns. They want to hit you with masks. They want to hit you with adhesive stickers on the ground. They want to go, it's about you. And they'll do it with your dogs or your pets or your children, and they'll get these freaks. Tomorrow, if I all of a sudden said, watch this. If I said, let me explain this. If I did this, if I said, I'm going to announce something, let us make something up, an experiment under the Lionel showcase, Lionel Nation. Let's make up one time. Let's say people, arborphiles. Let's make this up. People who think they're trees. Let's just make this up today. Let's write this down. Let's come up with something crazy. People who think they're trees. Are they dressed like a tree? And they say, I'm an elm. Okay, so far I haven't seen that. All right, now, if I were to pick up the phone and say, okay, I've got a team of 100 or so very important Jennifer Rubin type influencers. Look at your watch right now. Okay, and let's start that now. I'm going to make up something that says there are arborphiles, people who think they're trees. How long would it be before all of a sudden these would start sprouting up because they heard about it for the first time? Social media create these things. My friend Carrie and I were talking. Gay man, Los Angeles, really knows it. I said, have you run into this? He says, no. Actual transgender, surgical, no. People dress different ways. No. You may not remember this, but there was Renee Richards. This was a tennis. She was a doctor, an ophthalmologist. And there was Christine Jorgensen. There was an issue one time. There was an episode of All in the Family with a cross dresser. What's the difference between a cross dresser and a transgender? What's the difference? Can you help us with this? Anyone? What's the difference? Because people get them confused. We've always seen this. What's the difference? What's the difference? French Connection Mama says nothing. And the answer to that is wrong. What's the difference between a cross-dresser and a transgender? There is none. Wrong. Surgery? Okay, maybe. Maybe. What do you think? A transgender goes on to get surgery? Perhaps, maybe. The wood joke, Marcus, I got to tell you something, is actually it's important. Leslie is onto something. Leslie says something very interesting. Leslie hits it right here. Performer and one thinks it's a woman. Let me explain to you. You are absolutely zeroing in on this. This is also a man who dresses versus cloudy. Gets it correct? You are right. Absolutely. There are people that I know, and this is something that you might, okay. Their gender is male. For example, they say, I am a male. And they say they're a gay man, gay male, gay. They like men, men who like same-sex attraction. Remember that one? Remember that phrase? Same-sex attraction. That's the word they use, same-sex attraction. Meaning sex and gender. They recognize they're a man. And I guess there are some cases where women, I don't know, I'm sure there are. Remember, during the Annie Hall movement, there was this kind of this androgyny. Marlene Dietrich, Katharine Hepburn, wearing pants. Marlene Dietrich never thought she was a man. Katharine Hepburn never thought she was a man. There's a different story. They're talking about J.D. Vance wearing eyeliner or mascara, whatever it is. Do you think that, does J.D. Vance wear some kind of eyeliner or whatever you want to call it? Do you think so? I know there's a bit of a lag when I ask a question. Do you believe? Wayne Canale says, any chub queers here? Thank you, Wayne. Thank you. Now, does anybody really understand this? Do you follow this? Do you follow where we are going, ladies and gentlemen, with this? Are you following this? Let me ask a very simple question. And this is something which is, and I really want to be serious because we get all these definitions completely. Do you think that JD wears eyeliner or something? Do you think so? No, he has a strong lash line. Do you think a lash line that goes straight across? Come on, seriously. Now, Edie's on to something, but let me ask you a question. Why is this so different to understand? Keith Richards wore that. Keith Richards is a man. Keith Richards is not gay. He's a man. There's children and grandchildren. Keith Richards wears it. Now, let me ask you a question. People are having such a hard time answering the question. You can answer the question. There are some men who wear makeup. You know the number of men who wear makeup. It's incredible. Does he or does he not? Mascara. People have such a hard time. I think it looks like he does. Doesn't he? Doesn't it look like it? Okay, here we go. Thank you. Thank you so much. Dane says, who cares? Dane, you're missing the point, Dane. Dane, you can't throw up your hand during a who cares. It's in the news. You got to answer the question. You got to answer the question. Do you? I think it's obvious. Okay. Does that mean he's not a man? No. No. If somebody wears an earring, no. When men, have you gone to like a guitar? I love this because you go to a guitar store or something. It's always the rocker. They paint their feet. I think that to me is the ugliest thing. Men who paint fingernails. Does that mean they're a woman? No. It's an act. It's an act. So if you go to a guitar store, you used to have bandies music here, but go to a guitar, whatever it is. And you got the guy with the long hair. And have you seen him? They wear the motorcycle boots. They have the chain. That's, by the way, the chain, the wallet chain is a big deal in some circles. In Milan, during Pitti Uomo, the yearly men's fashion thing. That was a big deal. Tattoos, an act. Fingernails, an act. Piercings, an act. It's an act. You see Billy Bob Thornton? He wears a bandana, kind of like Madam, like Wayland Flowers and Madam, and a hat. It's an act. Does it change your gender? No. That's the difference. Nobody ever, if you say, oh no, I'm a woman, it's a different story. It's a different story. Remember the movie Dog Day Afternoon, about a person trying to get a sex change operation. And by the by, I've got news for you. I don't care what anybody says. That is the idea of sex change and gender reassignment is a joke. It's a joke. So the question is, remember, see, we have to, this is very, very difficult. And by the way, I love everybody here, but you see for yourself, please read these comments later. Look at the difficulty people have in dealing with the issue. People have a hard time. The fundamental question of this issue is, what is the difference between gender versus sexual preference? This fellow, this I guess this counterfeit woman or whatever, is trying to say, I'm a woman. Okay. And I want to be treated like a woman, and you're going to treat me like a woman. And I'm doing this legitimately because I think I'm a woman. I'm not doing this to be militant. I'm not going on to I'm doing this because, okay, fine. Everybody sometimes is like this. Have you ever met somebody, by the way, who's an AA? Have you ever met a pain in the ass AA person? Listen, God love AA. God love AA. But have you ever met a pain in the ass, a professional sober? You know, it's been 20 years since I've been sober. Congratulations. Well, thank you very much. You know, I've been sober for 20 years. Can you get through a sentence without saying you've been sober? No. Do you remember those old guys who walked around with a hat that said veteran? He's a veteran. Guy's 80 years old. He was 19 years old. He's still walking around. Combat veteran. It defines who you are. Everybody's got their thing. Everybody's got their thing. Sometimes you see these people who wear a place at some place they've been. You ever see this, like Sloppy Joe's Key West? Oh, were you there? They always, yeah, I was there. I'm kind of cool, you know, Hemingway, Jimmy Buffett. Oh, okay. Everybody's, so these people are, their message is, I'm a woman, trans. Another one says, I'm sober. How about the Christian? You ever met that? You ever met the Christians? Listen, you want to wear a cross? Mogan David, you want to wear it? Fine. I don't care. Makes no difference to me. Whatever. I don't care. But it defines some people. It defines them. Absolutely, positively, it defines them. It's who they are. It's like you see people sometimes on the internet. All they ever talk about is this thing called their, the only thing you hear about sometimes is Israel. The only thing they talk about is Israel. Now, I don't know about you. By the way, Chuck Todd's going to be exiting NBC. I don't know if you heard that. This is a big news for a lot of people. Chuck Todd is leaving NBC. There are people I'm saying, okay, that's enough. I got it. It's a fascinating subject. Bibi Netanyahu, Gaza, okay. Is there anything else you have? Nope. Anything else? Nope. Okay, it's Gaza, it's Russia. That's it. And I'm like, I'm moving on. It's like, you know, that movie, that show, Breaking Points? I can't take it anymore. It's just, I just can't watch it anymore. Sometimes you go, that's enough. You see, everything defines who you are. You got to understand this. You've got to understand this. Everybody's got an act. Everybody's got their thing. It's what you put out. And there are folks out there, there are real secret people who say, listen, and I believe, I really mean, I honest to God say, I think I've missed a couple of comments here. Let me see this. Let me see. Cut Up says, yeah, those dry alcoholics eat a lot of donuts. I don't know what that means. Not dry alcoholics. Dry drunks are a different story. I mean no harm in what I comment here. I don't know what that means. But you see, everybody's got this focus. Everybody's got this focus. Everybody. When you see somebody who says it, you're saying, so this guy, this congressman, the only thing I want to say is their gender. That's it. That's it. Just once I wish somebody would say, hi, how are you? Are you a gender? Yeah. Okay, let's talk about water supplies in LA. Hold it. Pardon me. Did you say you work for LA? Yes. And you're a man? No, I'm a woman. Okay. But I want to talk about fire supply. Oh, so you don't want to talk about it? No. It has nothing to do with what I'm. Wouldn't you love to do that? But instead we have gender, diversity. We have equality. You want people who look, excuse me, I wish somebody would say, yeah, I happen to be in that. Yeah, that's good. There were people I've known, and maybe we have less, but I have known people. There was a time of, dare I say, quote, remember when during the maybe 70s, 60s, 70s, black folks were saying, I'm into Africa. My name is Mobutu Shabazz X. What? This is when African American came. I remember when the word African American, I remember when it came out of nowhere. You're what? I'm black. Okay, I'm a black. As a black man, I don't think this is fair. As a black man, I go, what does this have to do with? Thank you for calling, driving through Wendy's. Can I help you? As a black man, I want a Frosty. As a black man. So I said, as a black man, who was your favorite Beatle? As a black, some people, it's who they were. During the 60s, Angela Davis, the fro, what do you think she's about? Everything. Black. The key to life is to have somebody say, guess what he is? I don't know. He's kind of a little bit of everything. Kind of a Renaissance guy. That's what you want to be. So these folks, believe me, once it's going, you're going to say goodbye. They're going to go away. They're going to say, remember the trans? Yeah, remember that. And how school boards will let this. By the way, it's also wrong to go in and talk to kids about heterosexuality. It's wrong to talk to kids about war, about death, about politics. Not in the school. Last story in the subject. I told you there was a teacher one time who had a kid in his class who had diabetes, and the child would go to how do I say this? The child would go to classes and would sometimes have to go to the restroom. So people would say, Mr. Johnson, Timmy's, and so he had to address this because he told the kid, look, you don't have to raise your hand every time you have to go. For whatever reason, the kid had to go to the bathroom. So the teacher said, children, I have a deal for you. I am, we have a child here, Timmy, who has a thing called diabetes. Now, Timmy every now and then may have to go to the restroom. So if Timmy does go to the restroom, please do not think anything ill of it. Timmy's not being recalcitrant or problem. He's just going because of his problem and diabetes. And don't worry, it's no big deal. And they said, great. And the teacher came back and said, I did one of the best the best explanations ever, the best explications and expatiations in my adult life as a teacher. That was one of the best ever. Okay, fine. Next day, the principal calls the teacher up and says, what the hell did you tell these kids? What? He says, I got 10 parents and they're saying that their kids are complaining that they've got diabetes. What did you tell them? My point is, and I'll leave you with that, kids do not understand nuance. They don't understand this. Don't try to explain mental illness, schizophrenia. They don't understand this. That's why when you talk to some children, you have to speak to them slowly. and you don't want to bombard them. You can't explain schizophrenia or consciousness. You can't. They don't understand what you're talking about. Same thing goes for transgender. Now, let me ask you this. What's this? Can you hear that? By the way, can you hear that? Now watch this. What is this? It's a fire. Now watch something very interesting. Look at this. Look at that. Why can't they do that when the fires start? Now this is a time lapse, obviously, of this. Why can't this happen when the fire starts immediately? Before it gets to this, where were the planes? Why don't they just say, we're going to douse this?
My name is Asaf. I'm building the house right down there, and we saw the smoke. We came up here, saw the hill, the fire on the other side of the hill, and it started spreading and spreading. Then we saw it jump down there and there and there.
Right.
And then as we were evacuating, because the police told us to, we saw the flames actually cross this side of the hill. And we watered our roof and
that's not
ran
going to
away.
do much.
Hope to come back tomorrow to a standing house.
Yeah, you guys are probably going to get out of here pretty soon if this thing gets any closer.
As soon as it's
That watering.
All right, yeah, good idea. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Now, the question is, people are saying, I like this. Someone says, Diana Chase says, because it was too windy to fly. No, Diana, you're just saying that. You're being Diana. No. When these fires first start, no. Too windy to fly? No. You can these are I hate to tell you this, but there are planes that are involved in, dare I say, there are planes that are involved in these things called hurricanes. You ever seen them? They've got hurricane planes. It's the damnedest thing. They've got hurricane planes. It's one of these things which I absolutely find fascinating. Did you know that? There's a thing called, it's wonderful. So the idea that we just sit back and we ask ourselves, do you really think, and I mean this, do you really think that people couldn't do it? Do you really think? Do you really think that they couldn't get a plane over there when the fires first started? Or are you just saying this to just say something? Where's my flag? I just noticed it. Are you just saying this? Because that's what we do. And I've been through this. When we saw buildings go like this, people would say, now's my cue to come up with some specious reason as to why that happened. Well, the reason is because of such and such. Is that it? Is that what you do? I don't think so. See, we just fight this stuff. We just love to, and that's a great thing. But do you really mean that? Too windy to fly? Where they say, you can't fly, it's too windy. No, I'm an emergency plane. I go into, this is what I'm designed for. Yeah, but listen, make sure when you fly in and you do this stuff, this is a plane that goes down, scoops up water, and then flies treetop level over to drop it. But not if it's windy. Can't do this. And at no point, sorry, when this thing first starts, okay, got a plane that got a fire source. We got 3 that just started. Get the planes up. Too windy. Okay, we'll wait. But go. There's no planes. No. You don't know what you're saying. And it's not your fault, but you're always trying to find a reason for things. It's just like when you talk to people about, well, and I've heard this, you see paleo diet is good because, see, we were meant to eat meat. See, they got the thing here, and we're actually carnivores, and you can just hear you just say this, right? Oh, absolutely. Oh, right. Okay, yeah. We just say things. It's one of these things. And I remember one time I said, "What evidence do you have of?" I forgot what it was, something religious. He goes, "Well, because St. Paul said it." And I said, "Okay." So, well, I said, "What evidence is there of God?" The Bible. Okay. And what evidence there of Islam? Oh, the Quran. Okay, thank you. Do you see the point? Do you see where we get into this? And there's no. And I ask people, what effect do you think an arsonist has now? What effect now do you think it has? What? Tell me the effect of this. Now, there's also some pictures, by the way. This is some great coverage of some of the attempts under this new, under the Bass administration, to come up with innovative ways to fight fires. And one of the things you got to understand, and the people say, "What about the fires?" Well, you see the pressure. Well, somebody said that. See, the pressures of the no. Nobody cared about this. Look at this. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. The evidence of things not seen. Faith is the substance of things hoped for. Huh? The evidence of things not seen. The evidence of things not seen is faith. Look, I don't want to get into this. God bless you. But you understand that people will just say stuff. They have an answer for everything. They just say these things. And there's no, it's like, that's very interesting. Oh, no. We don't want that. I never thought about that. Never. We love, that's why, one of the reasons why the Jordan Petersons of the world is that you need to have somebody to make sense. Tony Robbins, to an extent. Have you ever noticed these memes? Thucydides said, "A man without fear is a whatever." And you go, "Oh, that's fantastic," because we need this guidance. We need something. We need the philosophy of life, something to get us through these things. Do you see how that works? It's a fascinating subject, I think. You know what else is fascinating? What's fascinating to me is the other issues which we sometimes have for reasons I do not understand, but for reasons that we have, kind of looked the other way on. We've kind of forgotten that there are other people who are suffering for different reasons. Listen to this. New reports reveal that the average person has $8,674 in credit card debt, plus the total average consumer debt is a shocking $104,215 between mortgages, auto loans, student loans, credit cards, and unsecured loans. Unfortunately, without outside assistance, many will continue digging themselves deeper and deeper into the hole of debt. Now, I've advised and counseled friends and clients for years who want to take back control of individual debt about this secret weapon that has helped so many consolidate everything owed into one affordable monthly payment. They even helped negotiate a settlement agreement that will allow you to pay less than the total balance. Listen, they settled over $275 million in debt, and they've helped people become debt-free in an average of 28 months. I've had such an incredible experience referring clients and friends that I wanted to partner with them here and introduce their services to you, my loyal Lionel Nation family. If you want a helping hand to get out of debt, I absolutely, positively and strenuously recommend booking a free consultation now by going to nodebtwithlionel.com. Look at the address. Once again, that's nodebtwithlionel.com. Use the link I've provided under the title. Listen to me. You can take control and learn how to get out of debt now. I have been putting things out every now and then to make people feel as though I'm saying something. And I have these 10 truisms, these 10 philosophical edicts, which mean absolutely nothing, but if you say them the right way, and if you quote Sun Tzu or Marcus Aurelius or Tullius Cicero, the shadow of tomorrow is cast by the whispers of a silent yesterday. Yes. Deepak Chopra. Yes. To truly see, one must first close the eyes of understanding and open the ears of oblivion. A circle has no edges, but every edge is a potential circle waiting to emerge. The wind does not move the tree. It merely reminds it that it is rooted. The river flows backward when the moon dreams of stars. In the mirror of chaos, the reflection is always calm. The key to the door is the lock itself. For without it, the key has no purpose. Time walks on crutches while eternity flies with broken wings. The fire consumes itself in the search for its own ashes. And finally, this is the best one. When the mountain hums, the valley sings, but neither understands the melody. This is complete and total gibberish. And I've told people this. He goes, how true. How so very true. Pilgrim says, I can imagine what can be and be unburdened by what has been. Yes. People want there to be more than anything else control in the world. Control and reason. They want there to be closure. They want things. And what they want, they believe. And what means something to them, they will create. I remember one time I said, why do you believe in a life after death, what happened? He goes, but don't you want that to be true? Well, I think that would be great if it were true. But why do you believe it? Yeah, but it's who we are. It's who we are. It's this thing that, unfortunately or fortunately, is this aspect of our way of thinking. The mirror reflects the reflections of the mirror to he who sees it. Yes, that's Jordan Peterson. What this man says, I have no. Sam Harris, all the atheists. Remember those people? I don't know what the hell that's all about. There are very few people I've ever heard who really ever grabbed me. Philosophy, I kind of like certain things, but I have never read. I've never read a book of positive sayings or philosophy. Like don't sweat the little things. Never. I don't know anything. I have no idea. Remember also, always quote the Bible, but not yourself. Colossians, I had that one time. Beware lest any man spoil you through the philosophy of I don't know. The book of Fellatio. You can read. You can just read. There's always something. It's like you do understand that if a Jew were to refer to Talmudic or whatever references, that's not going to lure you away from Christianity. And likewise, you quoting the Bible, the New Testament, is not going to make a Muslim. You do know that, yeah, but I don't understand. But that's. But remember, I'm not here to fight it. I understand. I understand what you are. I understand what people are. I understand how this thing works. I understand the way people are. It's beautiful. And every day I learn something new. I learn something new about how people think and how people don't think. And I say that with all due respect. I really do. K2, thank you. Pilgrim Media, Wayne, Cut Up, Edie Crowley, thank you so much. Raul, all of you were just simply splendid. Also, dear friends, I want to say I have a brand new video coming up of a wonderful conversation I had yesterday with Natalie Morris from Redacted. And it was you will find it most interesting. And that is scheduled. By the way, those of you who are Lionel members, Lionel Nation members, you get them always first. You get these things first. It's very, very critical. Very, 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 very critical. You get them first. And also remember, we have 6 days until the greatest day ever. Let me also remind you, by the way, in 5 days is Mrs. L's birthday. Please subscribe to Lynn's Warriors. And in the meantime, understand that your subscriptions, your following, your support has been so terrific. The thing that I want, and I was thinking we'd get more to, but sometimes things come up. I'll put up an idea. I want to get more to the notion of Soros and the connection that we have to what's going on. Because everybody listening right now, nobody that I know believes anything involving the official story of this. Nobody believes at all in this insanity that all of a sudden there was this guy with a lighter or he had something, and that the Santa Ana winds came and the dry brush and the climate change and everything just out of nowhere. Come on. Stop it. Stop it. Now, we don't know what the answer is, but we know what the answer isn't, and that ain't the answer. All right, dear friends, have a great, thank you for, like I said, for following Lionel Nation. It means so much to us. We mean this absolutely positively. Thank you for this. And also make sure that you follow Mrs. L at Lynn's Warriors. You got it? That's important. That's critical. That's absolutely critical. All right, dear friends, we will see you later today. Have a great and a glorious day. Don't ever change it. Remember, always keep thinking. Hexit has his big review coming up. We'll see about that. He should get in without any problem. The president is marching forward. This is a great day. But remember, never turn your back on these people. They are evil. Have a great and a glorious day, my friends. Don't forget the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya. Dead.